Um, the more I watch him, Tanner Mordecai, who is another quarterback, who played this last year at Wisconsin. But man, I mean, I've talked to a lot of my buddies who are scouts, and there's a little bit of a groundswell of support for Tanner Mordecai. I talked to Brian Greasy about him. He said that Luke Fickell said if there was one player at Wisconsin that he would pound the table for, an old scouts term, on draft day. Some of these guys, there's that's kind of in its own category. Who's a player that you would bang the table for? In other words, we need to draft this guy, and you pound your fist on the table. And he said for him, it would be Tanner Mordecai. And this is a guy who, they had Tanner Bortolini, they had Braylon Allen. It wasn't like they didn't have anybody else in this draft. And Mordecai did not look, if you looked at his Wisconsin numbers, Al, he didn't put up big numbers. I mean, he put up muted numbers, especially compared to what he did the years prior for SMU in a different conference and a much more prolific offense. But the one thing that Mordecai's got is he's got 4.46 speed. He's got experience. He's a winner. He's a competitor. He's a fiery competitor. This guy broke his hand in the Iowa game. And according to Fickell, there was never a doubt whether he would play in their ReliaQuest Bowl game against LSU. And when they asked him about it, he's like, oh, hell yeah, I'm playing. This guy broke his throwing hand 5 weeks before a meaningless bowl game and played against a really good LSU defense. And in that game, threw for 378 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks. Now, they lost the game because LSU's better than Wisconsin. But, the guy played, as I said, one of his better games 5 weeks after breaking a hand. So he's a leader. He's a quiet leader. He reminds me a lot of Purdy in the way that he's mastered all the drills in the mini camp and then the OTAs. It's like what you're really looking for is which quarterback looks bored. And that's what Brock Purdy looked like in 2022. And that's what Mordecai looks like to me right now. He just looks bored. Like, it's like, okay, these drills, I've done them a million times.
Yeah.
But he's mastering each one of these drills. And then he's got the big time physical speed. He's got decent size. He doesn't have quite the downfield touch that Purdy has. He does not quite as accurate as Purdy. But I think there's a very good chance that Tanner Mordecai is going to be more efficient moving the football team in the preseason than either Brandon Allen or Josh Dobbs. I think it's going to make for a very interesting cut down. And I would put it at 60-40 that Mordecai makes the team over one of those two other quarterbacks.